I was telling you earlier that my guest today is David Kazadi. We see what's happening. How is he doing in the middle of all the chaos? Let's talk the icons na judging. Judges. We know that there's a new judge or two new judges. Kid is no longer there. Fiance, let's find out what's going on. Otherwise, we want to talk to him right now. Otherwise, David is back. David, hi.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. Yeah, how you doing, man? Sorry we lost you for a bit.
Network, bruv. It happens.
Yeah. Now, obviously, since time is moving, I just wanted to run quickly into this. Tell me when the whole idea of the icon was born.
When I was planning my move and everything else I was going to do, there's always been a plan to open a record label and do what record labels do. So the icon was first. I don't know if you remember. So last year we were promoting a show called The One, which was the initial installment of the icon. But we weren't ready for it because, again, the marketplace wasn't ready. We did advertise, we did promote, etc., etc. But then this year the time felt a bit more appropriate. So we launched it under a different name called the Icon.
That whole idea is rolling now. We're in motion. Now, obviously, you see how competitions are. Not everybody is loved. Not everyone is hated. There's always a judge who's, people throw stones at. You are the judge that a lot of people right now are attacking. What do you have to say about all this chaos that's happening? Did you plan to come out the way you come out? Is this how you wanted the show to be? How do you feel about everything that's happening?
How do I feel about being the scapegoat? Yeah, me. I'm excited, isn't it? Cool. Everything's planned out, so we all have a role to play. So when we were selecting the judges and the different participants of the show, the producers and myself and the people who are responsible for the show did agree on the fact that I naturally don't sugarcoat things. So when I'm dealing with talents or anyone in the office, I tell them as it is. So it was only befitting that I be the blunt judge, and then they need to find someone to balance things up. So that's where Kiddist and Ballad came in to be able to be a bit softer. And then, of course, Simon, being the sweetheart that he is, he would be the judge that sort of makes them feel better after we've told them the harsh truths.
Are you a nice guy? Are you a bad guy? Is this a character you're playing?
Am I a nice guy or am I a bad guy? I think I'm a nice guy. Naturally, I'm a nice guy, but I'm also a very honest guy. I don't believe in people lying to themselves. I don't believe in this overly emotional generation where you can't say anything out of the fear of being cancelled. I'm a product of people being brutally honest, and it sort of toughened me up as I was growing up. We don't have enough of that in this generation. Everyone's overly sensitive. You can't say this, you can't say that, you can't do this, and you can't do that. So we're raising a generation of absolute. I was going to say something, but I realized I'm on live TV. We're raising a generation of very weak individuals with very weak characters, which I don't necessarily subscribe to. I'm nice because you just have to be nice. It costs nothing to be nice, but being nice doesn't mean you have to lie to people. So I try and be as honest as I can at all times.
Magnate are teaming up on you and the ganging up, with a bunch of followers saying they need to decampaign the icon, and if you don't step down, and some of your sponsors will be decampaigned too. How are you handling that?
Chellah needs to get his teeth fixed. Magnate needs to understand he's new to money. I've been around money my whole life. So together they can try as much as they like. It's a lot of noise. It's noise. And half of them are doing it to be able to chase clout. If they really mean to change something, I'm the wrong focus. Let them do a talent show, both Chellah and Magnate. They seem to be accomplished individuals. Let Magnate put half of his money where his mouth is. Let him have a talent show that's going to change someone's life. Let Chellah do the same. Because we can all talk, but my resume speaks for itself.
has been posting pictures of idols. He's worked in the background with some of the guys from idols, the judges. He's worked with the guys from P Square. He's worked with some influential people around the continent. When you weigh your resume, is there anything that's pushing you to step back a little bit?
Let's not let the internet fool us. I have a track record, and you can sort of check my track record. Taken a bunch of pictures with high-profile people. If we want to play that game, it's very easy. You know, I've been doing this for a very long time, and I'm a product of of education. I went to the highest institution to be able to learn what I've done, and I've worked at the highest levels. I've actually worked on BGT. You know, it's not a thing. I worked on BGT in the early stages of my career. He talks about BBC, he talks about Al Jazeera, he talks about Sky. Like, these aren't things that are hard to do. Any duck, you know, with an email address just needs to send a CV and say, I want to come and visit your studios and take a bunch of pictures. Doesn't mean you're working for them. I think Chellah should honestly focus on dental formula because it's not cute anymore. He's a grown man. In 2024, you can't still have the problems with your teeth. Anyway, that's besides the point. I challenged him in his own art form. I asked him very clearly if he believes he's as good a photographer as he believes he is, and all the lies that have been told. Let him come and challenge me in his own art form. Then I'll expose Chellah for the fraud of a photographer that he is. He's not a real photographer. He's famous, granted, but it's very easy to fool people who aren't educated. I am very educated, and I have all the certificates and the degrees and masters to be able to back out what I'm talking about. But more, I'm not doing this for clout. I'm genuinely doing this because I want to be able to elevate the narrative of our entertainment business and change someone's life. If anyone has a problem with that, then they really are the problem.
So people are saying you're a little too harsh. Now let's speak for the people. People are saying you're a little too harsh on the young people that are coming for this competition. You know, do you think you can tone down a little bit?
Absolutely not. My role is to be able to represent what the industry actually is. Anyone else on the panel, everyone has a role to play. So in being quote unquote harsh, I'm preparing them for the realities that they will have to face if they want to be part of this industry. This industry doesn't sugarcoat, this industry doesn't babysit, this industry deals with people very upfrontly, and there's no Mickey Mouse games with it. And if anyone is going to win or sort of make it to the levels that I believe they will have to make it, they will have to deal with the insults. They'll have to deal with worse harshness and worse realities than what I'm having to portray. Case in point, if you watch the clip that's trending, which we put out on purpose, a lot of the positive that's in the clip has been taken. You have to remember, the boy specifically said 4 years before us, he went to a Nexus audition and they told him the same things. 4 years later, he comes to our audition and we tell him the same thing. There's a thread that's going on, but you're not hearing anyone talking about how he was given the same feedback 4 years ago when he did it at Nexus. They're all talking about how at some point we'll have to come to the realization just because you're passionate about something doesn't mean you're good for it. And instead of wasting your life, find something that you're good at and then become really, really good at it and improve and sort of live your life. But more importantly, in Zambia, sensational stuff really travels faster. No one's talking about the people we've put through. No one's talking about the good singers that have gone through. Everyone's focused on the people who have been bluntly told the truth. And, you know, I get it. I understand it. It's just the nature of the game. It's entertainment, and negativity that has a way of, you know, traveling faster than positivity. What I particularly have a problem with is the likes of Chellah or Magnate, assuming they sit on some sort of high horse where they think if they say a few things to their social media followers, they have the power to cancel a show. Guys, I am not I'm not a muppet. You know, there's certain things that work with them in their sort of areas of strengths, and probably, you know, they can flex the people that they flex to. I'm not that guy, you know. So the playtime's over, basically. Let them have their moment, let them, do what they need to do. But if the people want to see what they're really for, let them put their money where their mouth is and see how many lives they can change in the same manner that we're doing.
Why did Kitty had such a short stay on the Icon as a judge?
She's on a schedule. So, as you probably know, these things don't just happen. There's a whole plan that happens behind the scenes. Of course, she's a busy woman. So the time that we had her on the show what's this? People are calling my phone. Sorry, can you still hear me?
Saying?
Okay, so I was saying the time that she was on the show was the time that she could afford us to be on the show out of her busy, very, very busy schedule, and her time was up. The show has phases, so there was phase 1, phase 2, and then phase 3. Phase 1 had Kiddes, phase 2 had Ruth and Ruth alone, phase 3 has Ruth and Wezi. So it's all part of the plan. It's all part of what we intended to do. But we wish her well. She's an amazing person to work with, and hopefully in the second season we can still do the same thing and maybe have her for a longer period of time. So there's no sensational news out of that.
All right, David, as I let you go, I do hope you become a better judge even in the next life, okay?
What happened?
Thank you so much for finding the time and hanging out with us right here on Paduze. We do hope we catch up next time in person right here after everything that you're doing. All right, David?
Appreciate you. Thank you for...
Awesome, man. It's been nice having you. Yeah. Otherwise, guys, if you've just come through, ni Paduze, this is Power TV. If you've just come through for the first time, guys, David Tumachita Paduze. We have such a great time and we call issues what they are, more entertainment.